Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. My name is Aaron, and I am the son of Kirk and Jill Kirkham. Myself, along with my siblings, Wendy, Scott, Katie, collected some of our thoughts to tell you about who these people really are. In often cases, they loved us. Many a times, they put us in a chicken coop. But overall, they taught us how to become good people and be reflective of what the Christmas spirit really is. Please enjoy this time as you listen to who Kirk and Jill Kirkham really are, according to their children. One of my favorite passions of Mom is her dish collecting. I remember from a really young age of her collecting Liberty Blue, and I really had an affection for Liberty Blue, I guess because it was kind of my whole childhood. Growing up, she had a lot of it, and I went to Mexico and she got more of different types because I worked at a company that had dishes, and she just has continuously gotten dishes, and I hope someday to inherit dishes. I think one of my favorite treats that Dad and I would experience, and he was really with everybody in the family, was chocolate dip tops. And we'd go to the Tasty Treat, which, as I grew up as an adult, kind of realized it's kind of a little hole in the wall, but at the same time, I think that that's what added the charm to it. We'd all be there as families and have our dip tops and just try to drink them or eat them as fast as we could because they were just melting. But I really enjoyed sharing those moments, not only just with him, but they were really family moments where we all got to splurge and enjoy together. One of my favorite attributes of Mother is her forgetfulness. And what I mean by that is her forgetfulness of herself. For she truly gave up her own personal ambitions, desires, to center them around that of her children, and making them the center of attention and making them successful in whatever sphere it was. While I didn't grow up primarily with Scott and Wendy, I know that she had their times and where she focused on them wholeheartedly. And one of her favorite phrases is, "Your time will come," or "your party will come," because she was so fully invested in one child as they were in those different stages that she would dedicate everything and even put, to some degree, the needs of another child a little bit on hold just so that she could focus all of her efforts and make those important, successful times of life worthwhile for her children. And so I'm very grateful for her forgetfulness of self. My favorite memory of Dad laughing in pure joy was when we were watching an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond. And I don't remember the specific premise of what it was, but the grandmother came over and the two brothers were all between each other, and Dad was just laughing and laughing and laughing, and he couldn't stop until he was on the floor, literally just rolling with laughter and crying because he thought the problems that they faced in that show were so funny, because he really liked that show because it was just watching a comedic view of his daily life. One of my favorite memories about Mother in regards to church service was just seeing her in action on her mission. It was, while she didn't have completely 100% grasp on the language, she really conveyed love, and she really would teach to the best of her ability and get the message across to not only the members of the church but to the wonderful missionaries that she was with. And it was very surprising just the faith that she had, that as she would say things that she wasn't able to express, she would be able to convey the rest of the meaning through the spirit and through her just general love and faith towards the gospel and the principles that she was teaching and what she believed in. I was very impressed, and that is my favorite memory of her church service, just her full commitment to serving the Lord down in Mexico. One of my favorite memories or stories that my dad would always tell is he'd always have a cop-out person. Everybody in life, you always blame it on some fictitious individual. He always blamed it on Fred Rouse. And one day we got Richard, his brother gave him for Christmas, a CD of them in the pep band, and then right in the middle of their pep band songs you heard, "Fred Rouse sucks." And I never knew Fred Rouse was real. Fred Rouse, I'm sorry, but you are the brunt of all of our jokes. My mom was telling, "You're coming." There were many garage projects that Dad and I worked on, from building props for a mascot competition to fixing up a Ford pickup. But one of my most memorable ones was I put in we created a dragon sculpture made out of metal, and we welded it together, and it was a really cool little piece of art. And I was so proud of it, showing it off to my class, knowing that in reality it was my father who made it, but it was a lot of fun. I think I learned how to weld with that to some degree, even though I was somewhat little, and I really enjoyed seeing that dragon, seeing the creativity of my father as we put that together with my help. One of my greatest hopes for my mother is that she will find that little piece and that little cause that she's so committed to, that she's willing to give it all for. And I think that in large part she continuously does that with the different callings that she has. That she finds a little Cub Scout, or she finds a woman in the ward that is in need of some additional love, and that she can just pour herself in that person, because by far and away that is one of her strongest attributes, of finding the lost puppies and finding the lost causes and making them the champions of the world and the notable organization. So that's one of my greatest hopes for Mom. My favorite Christmas tradition that Dad really, I think, pioneered in our family and continued was the Hallelujah Chorus at 9 a.m. sharp every Christmas morning, where we had to wait upstairs until we heard Hallelujah Chorus, and we'd come running down, and Dad would be on the player piano, or he'd be playing it himself and just singing along, or have it on the speakers. And I just remember him always being so slow. That's how I thought. But now, looking back, in reality, it was just him. It was his way of ensuring that he got his nap in before the craziness of the Christmas holiday, so he could enjoy sleeping in once in a while, since he normally was an early riser and just worked his heart out. But I really love the Hallelujah Chorus, so much so that we've continued it in our own home. Hallelujah. My favorite way that Mom honored her parents is her relentlessness on going to Glenn's house. Just in the recent history of her continuously going there and being there and supporting him and being with him, and it was fun to be part of that journey as she got to help him leave this life. And I was very surprised at how dedicated and willing she was to neglect different parts of her life to go and serve her father. One of my favorite memories about Kirk Kirkham is that he's not called Kirk Kirkham.